Solidifying Vikings were weighing a lot of options replacing the production of Everson Griffin. Of course, you have Afadio Denebo, who's revved up, ready to go as a starter. But also, what about rotational guys? Like, who's going to fill in the de facto Afadi role? What about Stephen Weatherly's type role? So, obviously, there was a lot of high hope for rookie fourth-round picks DJ Wanham, James Lynch, as well as seventh-rounder Kenny Willekes, as well as Anthony Zettel, free agent signee. But someone who is lapping up all the work and looking pretty damn good and rising up the depth chart is fifth-year pro cheeseburger Eddie Yarbrough. That's right, man. Because who got time with the ones on defense on Sunday when Danielle Hunter and Jalen Holmes were out of practice? Ooh, it was Eddie and Afadi. That's right. The too light, the too short of arms, edge rushers who didn't give the respect or time of day in the draft. Yeah, that guy. Those guys. Cool. All right, so let's talk about Cheeseburger Eddie today. So, background, 6'3", 259. In fact, he's almost like the exact same dimensions as Afadi. It's kind of cool. 27 years old, former two-star recruit from Aurora, Colorado. Committed to Dave Christensen, the Wyoming Cowboys. Eventually played for former NDSU great coach Craig Bohl in Laramie. Compiled 21.5 sacks, 39.5 tackles for loss, as well as was a two-time first-team All-Mountain West. Now, didn't get the time of day because he doesn't check all the boxes size-wise. So no Senior Bowl, no Combine. Also some questions about level of competition for Wyoming and whatnot, but did have an extremely nice pro day. 4.75 40, 32.5-inch vert, 4.41 short shuttle, as well as a 7.043 cone. All great, as well as racking up 28 reps on the bench. So you think with that production as well as those metrics, like maybe he'll get late round pick, maybe a 6th or 7th rounder, which would be great for him. I ended up going undrafted. Did spend training camp with the Broncos. That was the final season when Gary Kubiak was the head coach, by the way, so that was important. Didn't make the roster or practice squad. Spent the year out of football. Went to Buffalo in 2017, ended up making the roster for the Bills and played for 2 seasons. Compiled 22 pressures, 38 tackles, and a sack as a rotational pass rusher, as well as started 6 games during his tenure in Buffalo. Didn't end up making the roster in 2019, but was on the Buffalo practice squad all season before, towards the end of the year, the Vikings scooped him up just before the playoffs. Ended up being inactive for both games, so it was purely a roster stash move by Spielman, who, I mean, if your GM isn't doing that, just trying to improve every single aspect of the roster, no matter what the time is, I mean, what are they doing? So they snagged Yarbrough at that stage when everyone else had already packed up their tents for the season and was looking towards the draft and free agency, but they're like, nope, yoink, nope, ours. So now you have a guy who's very solidly the 4th defensive end on this team. He's ahead of Zettel. So Yarbrough was the one getting snaps with the ones. Anthony Zettel's been working with the 3s. Yesterday, he was working with the 2s. And also, he's firmly ahead of the rookies who starting to get concerned a little bit. I mean, Wanham and Lynch, I understand that they are long-term projects, but the fact that they're barely sniffing third-team reps, not great, not ideal. But Yarbrough, he is a nice speed rusher, also uses his hands extremely well. Doesn't quite have the anchor, versus the run that, say, Afadio Denebo does. So I don't see him necessarily kicking inside, despite the two being similar size. But he just gets it. He is a high motor guy, as well as he's rocking the old number 52. I like edge rushers who wear 50s numbers. They just do. And also, it's the first time that they gave out 52 since Shad Greenway hung him up. So Eddie just looking great in that. And you love the story. You love a guy finally getting his shot. He's been productive whenever he's got an opportunity, whether it be his time in Buffalo as well as in the preseason as well. I would have loved to have preseason because this year I think that Cheeseburger Eddie working with the 2s as well as preseason rolls along, eventually working with the 1s, I think he would have put on a show. And also, it's really easy for fans to latch on to guys like edge rushers in the preseason because they do put up tangible stuff. Because you could get washed out 95% of your plays, and all of a sudden you have a game-changing sack, even if it is in the late quarters of a preseason game. We're like, woo, that guy. Because remember, Tayshaun Bauer, Loved him. That's how we fell in love with Afadi. That's also how Stephen Weatherly got on the radar as well. So Eddie, even though he's a little bit older, a little bit longer in the tooth, he does bring a little bit of speed off the edge. And frankly, I think he could work his way into the rotation because I think he's a pretty solid bet to make the roster right now. I think he is going to be that fourth edge rusher behind Jalen Holmes is going to be number 3, the primary backup. And I think you could see Eddie on the field, especially in those passing situations, in those NASCAR packages. Just put him at edge, kick Afadi inside, kick Barr inside. I don't care, kick someone inside, but just let Eddie go hunt. And he's done at the NFL level for a couple seasons in limited bursts. So we'll see what he's got. Rooting for Cheeseburger Eddie Yarbrough. Let's go. All right, but your thoughts, Eddie, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work, pull us up in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.